Do you think being bilingual or speaking other languages makes you smarter?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
So you are smarter than me because you speak 3 instead of 2.
You caught me there.
You can. I mean, you could say yes.
No, I genuinely feel you're above me intelligent-wise. But I will say that me speaking 3 languages now versus me speaking 2 languages some years ago, 2 different people. Core values and all that same, but like no, like it really forces you to open up that brain and massage in some new connections there. Like it will make you a lot smarter. You will understand again culture, but you will just see social situations differently, and it will make you question your own language. Like, why do we say it this way? Why can't we translate that expression? What's the origin of that? Not only are you learning the other language, you're enforcing your own, your native tongue.
The things that you believe in, and it either reinforces what you already believed in or you question it.
But I will mention that I recently had an exam that's more practical oriented in 3D modeling, but you need to deliver like a 20 plus page justification of like what you did, how you did it. The course is in Norwegian. I wrote it, asked my sister to take a look at it, and she said, all your grammar is English here. We need to change like all the sentences. Like,
So you translated it in your head in English from English.
I guess so, yeah,
Bad,
because
Tony.
I know, but like the curriculum, like so much stuff that you find online about the subjects, it's in English. So you're thinking in English, and then when you start writing it, I guess you're just copy pasting what you remember, and then you end up with like this weird sentence structure. For the next exam now in December, I had to really like work on my Norwegian.
Your native tongue.
Yeah.
But
it depends on
so order matters then, right? In Norwegian.
The order of
the words.
Yes, it does. Same way as you have blue car in English and then you have car blue in Spanish.
No, I feel like Spanish has more, it allows you to kind of put the words wherever you want. I mean, not wherever, but they have more leniency with the structure, not car blue, but like the sentence as a whole can be, the ya can go at the end or the beginning.
I guess I was just forming sentences in a non-native sounding way. Like one thing is what are you allowed to do? Another thing is what flows.
Yeah.
What's not completely Tarzan.
So would you say you feel like a different person when you're speaking the 3 different languages?
There was a period I used to. Now I don't really. I think it's more, do I get to show who I really am?
And in Spanish?
I guess I feel like me, like a toned down, slightly less articulate version of me. Again, Tarzan vibes. But yeah,
you get the point across.
Yeah, I can get the point across for the most part. And I guess it's because I have some really good friends, but they give me the sentiment of feeling that I'm in the group conversation.
Which I think is a good thing, obviously, for you as like a confidence thing. But also, I don't really have that. I don't really have people that are like, oh, you're, or like friends, Spanish friends that are saying, oh, your Spanish is so good. Or they don't really make me feel that my Spanish is good. I don't know how to describe it. But I think it's an advantage in a way because I am working to get better. Maybe if they were making me feel like I was good, then I would just stop learning, stop going to school.
Everyone stopped saying it like a year ago. I haven't heard like any old friends say in the longest time that, oh, your Spanish is so good.
Is that because you don't think it's good anymore? Or do they still make you feel? Because I'm saying like the feeling I get is not that I don't have that same thing that you're saying where they make you feel comfortable. Even though you cannot articulate yourself as well as you would like to. I don't get that feeling.
I guess we just structured the friendship enough that like there's a trust. They don't feel the need to say it. If anything, they will give constructive criticism. And I don't even like notice it. Like I notice it, but I don't make like a deal out of it. They're like, no,
Mm.
say this, don't say that. Or da da da. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, expression. Sorry, I'm just gonna slide it in
Slip an
there.
expression.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jorge, our old friend Jorge, he taught me expression today, which is el que dirán, whatever they say. It's like, you're not gonna care. I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm not gonna care about what they say.
Dira?
Dirán,
Ah.
el que dirán.
Use it in a sentence?
Can you give me like 10 seconds to
Think of one. Well, what did
and I,
what did Jorge say?
I said something along the lines of me da igual, like I don't care, I'm just gonna do my own thing. And then they threw in some version el que dirán. And I'm like, dirán? And they're like, el que dirán. And then explain to me. Que dirán, use in context. Help me, Gemini. To describe the fear or concern about public opinion, gossip, or judgment, often used in phrases like no te preocupes por el que dirán. Translates to don't worry about what people will say.
I would have never understood that in context.
Let's see if we can pick it up.
That's C2 or maybe C1.
I think it's C3, if I'm not mistaken.
C3.
Okay, so rounding off that guy. Yeah, you were saying?
Going back to what I said about the difference of your friends, how they make you feel versus mine is my Spanish friends are forced to be my friends. They're just my boyfriend's friends. So I'm not trying to like belittle your friendships with the Spanish people you know, but
Mm.
mine are like obligated to sit there and be with me, you know? Like they're not inviting me to go have dinner, just me and them, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a whole different feeling, a different situation. But anyway, let's see. What else do I want to ask you? Have you ever used another language to talk about someone behind their back and they ended up knowing what you were saying?
I have the fear of that happening, so I don't think I've ever done it. I used to work in a kindergarten where a lot of the employees would talk in English. And then one day I remember a British kid was just looking at my colleague as she was speaking to me in English. I'm like, that kid is
Like
British.
talking crap.
Well, not crap per se, but yeah, things she shouldn't be hearing. How about you?
I think I'm the same. I have started to use my Spanish in front of Spanish people, forgetting that like Spanish people speak Spanish. Because in the US I can do that, or like in front of my parents sometimes with my boyfriend we can speak in Spanish and they have no idea what we're saying, and I think that's cool. I guess doing it in Spain it doesn't work well, and I think I forget that sometimes. You can't just talk about people in front of them when they speak the language.
And it can be a bit rude depending on who. If it's just a guy in line, he smells awful, well, okay, switch over and talk about it. But you're standing in front of your mother-in-law and then you just switch over to a
Oh
completely
no, no,
different
no.
language.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't do it as like a outright way to just be like, I know a different language and you don't. Go. But if we're like a little bit away and, you know, I want to say something, I can now.
Mm.
So I couldn't do that before. Which language do you think sounds sexier, Spanish or English?
French.
Neither. I do love French. I think I agree with you.
It's the love language of the world. English, Spanish, I'm gonna give them a shared first place.
I think it depends. Like, it depends on who's speaking, right? Like, I think Spanish in general, but I've heard some Spanish women, especially, where I'm like, this accent, it's not even the accent, it's like their tone and the way, like, really screechy or really like, I've been
Bruta.
smoking a pack of cigarettes.
Well, that's a sexy jazz voice you're describing now. Like, come on. Like, that's different. Accents
Nope.
do
If you
matter.
can't distinguish between a man and a woman and because of how hoarse their voice is, that is not sexy.
That is true. But hey, like there's ranges within accents. Like the British Dua Lipa kind of talking, and then you have the British Peppa Pig way of talking. Mommy,
Correct.
can I have another banana? Like that's imagine
Exactly.
Dua Lipa saying, "Oh, darling, can I have another banana?" Like this. Two different vibes going on there.
But in French, I would say it doesn't matter if it's a kid, an adult, an older person. I always think it sounds so beautiful.
there was a marketing campaign going on in Norway for a French yogurt brand. Their shtick was, you can say, like, everything's better in French was their shtick. And they would talk about tax returns in French. And we'd be like, oof, like this sounds so sexy. And then on
So
the
you
flip,
guys had no idea what they were saying,
they would
basically.
subtitle it just
Oh,
to
okay.
like
Make a point.
make a point. Yeah. And then they would do the opposite. They would take a black and white French movie, but they would dub it to the most hillbilly Norwegian accent there was. And then it will be captioned afterwards. Some things are just better in French.
I like that. So it was a French thought idea or pitch.
Yes.
I love French things. I think they are a superior country in general. Let's see. Which language feels more like home to you?
Of the ones that I speak.
Correct.
Okay, it's hard to not combine Norwegian here, but there's some content, there's some topics I feel more comfortable talking about in English because I've been
Okay.
exposed to vocabulary several times. The people that I talk with are not Norwegian regarding those topics, so it will just feel more comfortable, like instead of like trying to translate a lot of jokes, for example, inside your head. Spanish, I guess there's expressions here and there. I cut my finger, I will catch myself saying joder, but that's, again, I'm a victim of circumstance. You get exposed so much, it's just okay, that's the mode that you're switched to. If I was in
Mm.
Norway, I would probably say fan i helvete when I got my hand.
Your brain knows where you are in the world, so it
Yeah.
adjusts accordingly. Okay, but if you had to choose one, there's not a like you cannot pick and choose. Which one feels most like home to you? You can only choose one.
I guess I had to go with Norwegian then. Like it's my native
Really?
language. I guess so, yeah. I guess so. English, it's really up there because I'm so obsessed with American pop culture.
Culture, yeah.
It's like strip away everything. Let's say I'm on my deathbed and there's the last few conversations I'm gonna have. Obviously, it's gonna give me a warm feeling inside of my chest talking in Norwegian with my mom, my dad, my sister, brother, etc.
I would have to say Spanish.
On your deathbed?
Well, no, but if you ask me that question, I would say Spanish right now
Why?
because I speak Spanish more than English now. My family here is all Spanish. I speak in Spanish with them. So home now is Spain. It just I feel yeah, I guess I just feel comfortable if I can say that
Mhm.
with Spanish feeling like home more than English now, which is very strange.
And kind of heartwarming in itself.
I'm not saying I can speak better, but yeah,
But the
in my
sentiment,
brain, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's kind of nice. And what do you think is funnier, humor in Spanish, English, or Norwegian?
English by far, 100%.
Really,
Uh,
really.
Hands down. There's things in my native tongue, timing and pitching, that I can do with my sister. I say it in my dialect with the right context and the right everything, and suddenly it's a joke. So yeah, that can never be replaced. But come on, like all stand-up comic, they're American. Also British stand-up as well. And like, have you seen Graham Norton? Like his sassy commentary, the timing, it's world class. You can only get that in English.
In
It is
English, yeah.
insane.
I think I'm just like in a honeymoon phase with Spanish. Maybe I think
Oh
maybe
my
that's the answer
god,
to
stop
everything. But
it.
and no, I mean honestly, because I think I would say Spanish right now. But I think it's because I'm just learning the language, and so for me, I'm like I understand this, so it's hilarious to me.
I understood that. Oh, like,
Exactly. Maybe it has nothing to do with how funny it is, but the fact that I can understand it and pick up on like a double meaning of something in Spanish. I'm just
yeah.
like amazed at myself, maybe. I would go out on a limb and say Spanish humor is hilarious, like more so than in English. Not sure where that's coming from.
I smell a honeymoon phase. Regardless, that's an amazing feeling. It's really a world opener. Like you reach that level where you're not faking speaking a language and like stumbling your way through conversations, but you're actually having a what for me would be a safe, soothing laugh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Say a safety laugh. I don't even know how to articulate myself here. Like
Like,
just an
whew,
awesome
we got
feeling.
it. We understood it.
Yes, like a good sigh.
Yeah.
Like a oh, like
Relief. And we also don't consume stand up in Spanish. So I guess that's, at least I don't. Maybe you do.
I tried watching some monologues and whatnot, and I'm like, there's some Instagram clips I can like look at and laugh. There's actually a Venezuelan comedian I follow a lot, but a lot of his topic is about being a Venezuelan or Latin American living in the US. You can broad it out, but it's a specific niche, and I understand the context there.
You mean being a foreigner yourself?
Yeah, that as well, but just like understanding the concept in itself. There are nuances that I will never understand because I'm not him. I don't live there. But it's not some like weird thought experiment about what if Franco's was still a guy here? How would the Catalonian people think? And they're like, oh, they would probably walk like this. It's like, this is so nerdy. I have no idea what to make out of this.
Maybe we'll look back on this and laugh in 10 years that we'll think that Spanish humor is 100 times better. Well, I think that's all. We can round off this episode.
Let's go full circle back again. Are you better than the non-bilingual American?
In a general sense, yes, but I would compare myself to myself before. So I'm better than I was before. I shouldn't compare myself to the people that took Spanish in high school like me and never got past that.
That's a great takeaway. Compare yourself to your previous self. I have a tendency to merge people in my head unconsciously. You meet someone who speaks English, Spanish, French. Then you meet someone who speaks English, German, and French. And then, like, the list goes on. And you're exposed to these people. And inside your head, you start thinking, like, well, everyone speaks 8 languages. Why do I only speak 2.5? But then you're also reminded, I am specifically, when I watch videos of people doing street interviews and they interview people from different countries and then they make a point out of being able to say something in like 20, 30 different languages. And they're like, oh, you're so good. And I get impressed. It is impressive. But whenever Norwegian comes up, and it's not often, but when they do, and I'm like, what is this? It barely sounds Norwegian. I'm like, okay, maybe they don't speak the other languages equally well.
You mean when the polyglot has to speak in Norwegian?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can actually
call on their BS.
Then I'm like, okay, maybe not everyone is as perfect as it seems, and I can just go about my day.
So you don't believe that polyglots are any smarter than people that know like 3 or 4 languages?
Oh no. They are. I just need to remind myself this is the difference between speaking a language and speaking a language well.
That is very true. I wouldn't know. I'm here with my English and Spanish, and I'm not judging anyone because they're both suffering these days.
I get the feeling. But yeah, you should be proud, Mal. Everything you have been able to achieve in this short period you've been here in Spain, I am so impressed.
Thank you. 2 years this week I've been here in Spain.
Oh my God.
My
I don't have a champagne bottle, but here's the bottle and going poof, like happy 2 years here in Spain. Congrats. Enhorabuena.
Gracias. Any closing thoughts?
My closing message, apart from follow us on Instagram and all the platforms, Spanish Pod, is you're good enough. Keep on going. You can do this.
Even if you're American?
Even if you're the 5th generation self-proclaimed Italian guy living in New York, not knowing how to say grazie mille even that guy can do it.
Just keep trying.
Just keep trying.
I love it. Yes, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Adios.
Adios.